What's going on YouTube? Sam here. So you may have heard the news. You might have seen something on the news, read an article online, or seen a post about it. But the government right now, they are sending out 4 million EIP debit cards. EIP stands for Economic Impact Payment. Now these EIP debit cards are going to be sent to those individuals where the government did not have any banking information on file for them or available to them. So what they're doing is they're sending out these prepaid debit cards, okay? They're Visa debit cards, and you can use these cards to make purchases just like you would with an everyday debit card, right? You can also take the money from this debit card and you can transfer it to your own bank account for no fee whatsoever. You can get cash using this debit card. So if you want to just simply receive this in the mail, take it to your local in-network ATM and receive cash for it, you could do that as well. But again, 4 million of these are going to go out. So if you haven't received your stimulus payment check yet, you might be getting a prepaid debit card in the mail. Next, what I want to talk about is the upcoming HEROES Act, right? We had the CARES Act. That was the first round of stimulus payments, but now we have the HEROES Act. And the HEROES Act just passed the House of Representatives on Friday. It passed the House. It's going to the Senate now. The Senate is Republican controlled, so it's likely it's going to face some opposition in the Senate, but it has been proposed. It's a $3 trillion bill, and it's going to be pretty similar to the first bill. That first economic stimulus package was a $1,200 payment to Americans. This next HEROES Act, this package, it's going to be very similar. There are a few key differences that you really need to be aware of though. Okay, first things first, the $1,200, it's exactly the same. The income thresholds, those are exactly the same. If you made less than $75,000, you will receive the full $1,200. If you made between $75,000 and $100,000, for every $100 over $75,000 that you made, your payment is going to be reduced by $5 for every $100. But the big thing and the big difference that you need to know about is dependents. If you have children, rather than receiving $500 for each dependent, this new bill, it actually raises that up to $1,200. And it also increases the scope of what's considered or classified as a dependent. So previously it was age 16 and under. This is going to 17 plus. And if they're a dependent, again, it's a $1,200 payment, not $500. The family max that you could receive is $6,000. So it's possible that this go around, you could receive a $6,000 check. Again, it's likely to face a lot of opposition in the Senate. The House passed it on Friday, went to the Senate. The Senate will probably look at it in the second half of this month. And then if the Senate passes it, it would then go to Donald Trump's desk and he would need to sign it. Will you get a stimulus check in the very near future? Probably not. It's probably going to be a couple of months, late summer, early fall, but just be aware of it. Another thing in this HEROES Act, unemployment benefits. So if you find yourself currently out of work, you're receiving an additional $600 benefit on top of the standard unemployment benefit that you would be getting. What this bill would do is it would extend this additional $600 benefit from the end of July. The end of July is when it's due to expire. It would extend this additional unemployment benefit to January 2021. Again, that's probably going to face some opposition as well, because the Republicans are going to come back and they're going to say, well, if everyone's receiving this additional $600 payment all the way to January, once we start loosening things up and pulling back some of the restrictions, people aren't going to want to go back to work. they're going to be making too much money on unemployment. And when their employers call them to come back to work, simply going to say no. Again, I don't want to get political. I'm just outlining where I think both sides are going to be on the political spectrum. So unemployment benefits, and then lastly, what we'll talk about is when you could expect to receive the payment. The payments are going to be in the form of, if you have a debit card or if you receive a debit card in the near future, you'll get this additional stimulus package on that debit card. If you've got your banking information on file, it will again be a direct deposit. And if you got a paper check, that paper check is how you would get this next round, unless you go on the IRS's website and update that information. There's a Get My Payment tool. If you haven't seen it, I'll go ahead and put a link in the video description. But as this all unfolds, I will continue to keep you posted and updated for any developments as it moves through the different parts of the legislative process. Please comment, like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on the second round of the stimulus package.